So I'm back at Mr. Bongo's group page here, and I want to look at reports. So let's click on this link called reports. Now, Mr. Bongo's The Gorillas group is brand new, so there's really no data here to report other than the number of new members that were added. So what I'm going to do is log out and log back in as an admin and show you an existing group that has some data that I can show you through the reports. So I'm going to use the Facebook login here and log in as myself. And I'm going to find the Acme group, which is a fake group that I've created. If I click on Acme Corporation, now I can go into reports. And the reason it still shows 0 data is because the time frame that I'm looking at hasn't had any recent activity. By default, reporting mechanism shows the last month's worth of activity. But I can click on the date here and change to look at the last few years of data. Alright, so there we go. Now if I click go, you can see there was some actual activity over these last couple of years with this group. So the way that the group functionality works, or rather the way that the reporting works, is there are 3 levels. The topmost level here shows you an aggregated view of all of the different metrics that we provide during this time period. So we're looking at the time period December 1st, 2012 through January 31st, 2015. And within that time period, this group volunteered 496 hours through 11 projects. They had 133 individual sign-ups for those volunteer opportunities. They added 161 new members to their group, and they had 133 active members during that time period. And they had a participation rate of 92%. And this participation rate, the calculation behind this is it's the number of people who sign up versus the number who actually show up. So rather, the numerator in this case would be the number of people who showed up, and the denominator would be the total number of signups, right? So if you don't sign up at all, it doesn't affect your participation rate. So this is the topmost level. So if I click on one of these metrics, it will take me down to the second level view. And in this view, I can group that data by different ways. So I'm still looking at hours, right? And the hours from this time period have been grouped by month here. So I know that during this time period, I had 325 hours of volunteering that occurred on September 2014. And 171 of the hours came from June 2014. Now, these hours, by the way, are reported by the nonprofits. So you don't have to enter this information. It's information that is recorded by the nonprofit when they confirm volunteer hours. Now I can group hours by other ways too. So I can group these by nonprofit. If I change this to nonprofit, I can see that those hours break down this way. Activate Good received 256 of the volunteer hours, and so on. I can also group by cause. Remember, we're still looking at hours. That's important to recognize. And the way that the causes work is when the nonprofit posts their volunteer opportunity, they have the opportunity to choose which causes this volunteer project will serve. Right? So they can choose up to 5 causes. And it makes sense then that there would be a lot of overlap between children and youth and education. So these different groupings aren't exclusive. There's some overlap between these hours, which is why you see 329 here and here as well. And obviously all of these numbers would add up to way more than the 500 or so hours that we saw on the top level view. So keep that in mind when you're looking at hours, that there's some overlap here for the causes, that is. Now for a project, it's going to show me the different projects that these volunteer hours broke down into. So I can see that this project took the most amount of time. Well, I should say really that it's the total number of hours for each of your volunteers. So if you had more volunteers for a particular project, that would add up to more volunteer hours, of course. So it didn't necessarily take more time for that group to volunteer for this project. It's just that the hours totaled up to more. So you can also group by volunteer. Now I should point out these aren't real people either. This is fake data that I've entered here. And by default, the second level report level here is sorted by hours in descending order. So you can see that the people who volunteered the most are up at the top, and then and this is by hours. So as I get down, I have fewer hours down this way. And if I want, I can change the way that this is sorted. I can click on it again to sort in ascending order, or I can sort alphabetically if I want to be able to read through this list and find the people. I also have a print view, and the print view is going to generate a PDF that's based on the view that I'm looking at on the web page. All right, so you can kind of see what the print view looks like here. Now this is just the hours metric, but the other metrics break down in a similar way. So if I click on projects, I can group by volunteer, just like before, or I can group by month to see how many projects were volunteered during that month and so on. So I can group the number of projects this way. I can also look to see how many different signups that I had for each of these causes. Now the cause, the group by is carrying over to the next metric, but I can change that to group by month if I want to. And I can look at the new members, how many members joined my group, and this is broken down by month here. So remember, this is between this time period overall, but because I'm grouping by month now, it's going to show me how many members were added during those months. If I click on active members, it will show me how many of my members were active during these months. And if I click on participation rate, this will show me the participation rate grouped by month as well. So this is what this is showing me is during the month of June 2014, 63 people participated, and 2 people who said that they were going to be there actually didn't show up. So the reporting mechanism provides 3 levels of detail. So we've only seen the first and second level of detail, but I want to know who are these actual people who didn't show up. So I can click on details to get to that 3rd level. Now this is going to show me the names of the people who during that time period, in that specific month, June 2014, who did not show up or who did show up. It's going to show me their participation rate, and I can sort by all these columns. So if I'm interested in learning who those no-shows were, I can click on this twice maybe to sort in descending order, and it's going to show me the names of those people. Let's go back to the dashboard one more time. So I'm going to click on hours to go down to the 2nd level view. And then from here, remember, I can group by different ways. I can group by nonprofit. So here I have the number of hours grouped by nonprofit, and if I want to see who provided these hours for each of these nonprofits, I can click on one of these. So let's click on the details for Activate Good. So these are the members from my group who volunteered during those hours. Same way, I can go back to projects, and I can group the projects by nonprofit or by cause. And I can see which of these projects were associated with education. And there it's going to show me the names of those projects. So as you can see, there's lots of different ways to sort and group all of this information, and you can look at it in lots of different ways. You can get printouts of these reports as well pretty easily. We're working to continue to improve this, and so we hope to, in the near future, offer a way to export that data so that you can get it into a spreadsheet and other formats. And we welcome any feedback that you might have to help us make this tool even better than it is now. All right, so that is the sum of all of the ProGroups features that we offer right now. You have the ability to import members from a CSV file, add those members directly to a project, and then get detailed reports on the different metrics that we provide now. And we are happy to add new metrics if there seems to be anything that is missing that you need for your group. So let us know, and we're excited to have the feedback.